Today, we're not just looking at a piece of technology. We're looking at a fundamental trade-off, really. Budget versus performance.
Hmm.
And we are taking a hard look at what might be the king of compact, cheap warm-up devices.
Yeah.
The Amazon Basics 1500W ceramic space heater.
It's pretty much unavoidable. You see it everywhere because that price point is just so low.
Right.
But for you, our listener, the mission is simple. We need to cut through all the marketing. We really want to know if this heater gives you genuine, reliable value.
Or if the limitations are the real story here. I'm thinking about safety coverage area.
Oh, those are the deal breaker.
That's the question.
Exactly. What are you actually getting when you spend the least amount of money possible on something that's designed to get, well, very, very hot?
So let's start with the basics of how it works. This
Okay.
model runs on standard residential electricity in North America, so 120 volts AC at 60 hertz.
Standard plug, standard plug. And it gives you 3 modes, which is key. There's the 1500-watt high power setting, a 900-watt low setting, and then a fan-only option.
And that 1500 watts is important because that's pretty much the max you can safely run on a standard home circuit without tripping a breaker.
It is, yeah. It's the ceiling for these portable heaters.
Okay, so let's dive into segment 1, the mechanics, and why this thing is all about portability.
The physical design is really what makes it so popular. When you look at the specs, the dimensions they're tiny.
Like how tiny?
We're talking roughly 7.5 inches deep, about 6.5 inches wide, and just over 9 inches tall.
So small enough to tuck pretty much anywhere. Right?
Precisely. But the real key to its portability is the weight.
Ah,
Reviewers always highlight this. It weighs a remarkable 2.14 pounds.
wow, that's nothing.
It feels like nothing. You pick it up with that built-in handle, and you can just effortlessly move it. Under your desk, to a chilly bathroom, you could even toss it in the car for a trip. It really lives up to that quotable name.
And the user experience seems to match that minimalist approach. We're not dealing with a digital interface or an app here.
No, not at all. It's delightfully analog.
Mm.
You get these simple dial controls for power and a mechanical thermostat.
And that thermostat is what keeps you from having to mess with it all the time.
Exactly. It cycles the heater on and off to maintain the temperature you set so the room doesn't get, stiflingly hot.
Okay, a quick note,
Yeah.
just based on user feedback. For anyone plugging one in for the very first time, there's something they should expect.
Yes, the initial burn-off. A slight plastic or chemical smell is very frequently reported during the first use.
That sounds a little concerning.
It does, but the sources all agree it's normal. It's just the new heating element and the casing curing. The smell goes away pretty quickly. It's not a sign of a malfunction.
Got it. So why do all the sources point to its quick heating? What makes the ceramic element the hero here?
This is the engineering advantage. So unlike older space heaters that use those glowing exposed metal coils, this uses ceramic plates. And ceramic just heats up incredibly fast. We're talking almost instantly. It also maintains that heat very efficiently.
So it's not just that it gets hot, it's the speed of the heat.
That's it, exactly. And because the heat is generated across a flat, protected surface, the fan pushes air over it, and you get this immediate, clean warmth.
That's the whole point, right? Instant heat right where you want it.
That's the draw. People don't want to wait 15 minutes. They want heat under their desk now.
Quick heat on demand. Okay, but like you said, we're talking about a compact device designed to generate 1,500 watts of heat. That sends us right into segment 2. Safety features versus the historical context of this product line.
And safety has to be the #1 thing you scrutinize with any budget heating device. I can confirm the current models come with 2 crucial, non-negotiable safety features built right in.
So what are those primary defenses?
First is the tip-over protection. It's basically a weighted switch inside that instantly cuts the power if the unit gets knocked over.
Which gives you huge peace of mind, especially if you have pets or kids running around.
For sure. And an interesting detail from the manual is that when you set it back upright, it just resumes operation. You don't have to reset it.
That's convenient.
The second defense is overheat protection. This is a thermal cutoff. If the internal parts get dangerously hot, maybe a vent is blocked or something,
Right.
this sensor shuts the heater down completely, and it will not let you restart it until it is physically cooled down.
Okay, so we have robust, modern safety features doing their job. But here is the massive aha moment that the source material forces us to address. We can't ignore the sort of shadow hanging over this product line.
This is the critical balancing act for you as the consumer. While the current model has these safeguards, sources, including CPSC warnings, reveal there was an earlier safety recall.
A recall on Amazon Basics heaters.
For certain models, yes, and the reason it was serious. Reported issues of overheating and sparking.
Okay, so if I'm listening to this, I'm immediately thinking, why would I buy a product from a line with a history of sparking? How does that change how I see this current model?
It raises a pretty profound question, about brand trust and quality control when you're chasing that extreme low cost.
Yeah.
To be clear, the current model has the new safety features designed to prevent those exact historical failures, but that legacy, it really underscores why you still have to be vigilant.
So that history is why the warnings about the front grille are so explicit.
Exactly. Walk us through that.
Well, even with all the internal safety tech, the front grille of this heater gets hot, very hot.
Okay.
The materials are very clear.
Yeah.
You need to avoid direct skin contact when it's running. That history teaches us that fundamentally this product is designed to push the envelope on heat.
So even if they've fixed the internal overheating issue, the outside is still a burn risk you have to respect. It's not a toy.
So segment 2 tells us, yes, the safety features are there and they're good, but the price point and the manufacturer's history mean you have to stay actively involved. You can't just set it and forget it.
That's it. You're trading a low price for constant attention.
Let's shift gears to segment 3. This is purely about performance and the trade-offs you make for that compact design and that low price. Let's start with the coverage problem.
This is its single biggest functional limitation. The Amazon Basics heater is a spot heater. It is not a room heater. The sources are very, very clear about that distinction.
So if I'm trying to heat, say, a medium-sized kind of drafty home office, am I just wasting my money?
You absolutely are, yeah. Professional analysis from places like Tech Gear Lab showed it creates these localized hot zones.
Hot zones?
Yeah, so if you're sitting right in front of it, you'll feel warm. But if you step 5 feet away, the heat just dissipates rapidly.
Yeah.
You're basically paying for a high-powered personal heat bubble.
And that inefficiency is made worse by one key design choice on this specific model. It doesn't oscillate.
No, which means the heat is totally directional. That's like a flashlight beam. It just points straight ahead.
So if you need to spread warmth across the room, you're out of luck.
You have to physically get up and turn the heater. I know they have an oscillating version, but for this specific Basics model, you're stuck with that straight-ahead heat.
Which really limits it to, what, under a desk or in a tiny bathroom?
Pretty much. And that leads us right into the other trade-offs, like noise and long-term durability, which are often the first things to go when the margins are so thin.
Okay, noise. It uses a fan to push the heat out. How loud does it actually get? Is it a background hum or is it distracting?
On the lower 900-watt setting, it's moderate, but when you crank it to the full 1,500 watts, that fan has to work a lot harder.
Right.
Users often describe it as noticeable. You might need to turn the TV up, or it might be a bit much on a quiet conference call. It's the sound of the heater doing its job, but it's not subtle.
And what about long-term reliability? When a product is built to be this cheap, durability is usually the first casualty.
Yeah.
What did the user feedback show?
The feedback suggests a pattern. It works great for a while, but then potential component failure. The most common complaint was about the mode selector switch.
The actual dial.
The dial itself.
Wow.
We saw lots of reports where the unit turns on, the fan spins, but it just doesn't produce any heat.
So the electrical signal is flowing, but the switch that tells the ceramic element to heat up breaks.
Exactly. It suggests internal mechanical wear and tear, probably from cheaper components in that critical part, especially if you're using it heavily every single day for a whole winter.
It really reinforces the idea that this is a budget tool, not a robust heating solution built to last for 5 winters straight.
That's the one.
So if we summarize the value here before we synthesize everything, the sources agree that for a simple price-to-heat ratio, this thing is incredibly effective.
It is. You get a lot of immediate warmth for very little money. It's the highest possible heat output at that entry-level price, which is exactly why it sells so well.
That brings us perfectly to segment 4, synthesis and application. How do we take all of this, the specs, the warnings, the durability concerns, and turn it into clear, actionable advice for you?
I think we can define the ideal use case pretty clearly. The Amazon Basics 1500W heater is a solid pick if you need a very specific targeted solution.
Like what?
Think small rooms, a home office where you just want warmth on your legs, a chilly bedroom for a little while, maybe a tiny garage workshop. Portability for quick, budget spot heating is its main strength.
So if you're in a tight budget and just need to knock the chill off a small space for an hour or two, it's a pretty compelling choice.
Yes, but if your needs are broader, you really have to look elsewhere.
Right.
This heater is definitely not ideal if you need wide heat distribution or oscillation to warm a whole room. And critically, do not rely on this to be the main heat source for a large, poorly insulated room in the middle of winter.
You will be very disappointed.
Very. And based on those durability concerns, if you need a heavy-duty workhorse that's going to run reliably 247 for multiple seasons, the low cost here is likely a false economy.
So the synthesis of the trade-off is clear.
It is. This device is the definition of no frills. It's maximized for cost efficiency. It does its job for simple spot heating brilliantly, but that low price means you have to accept major limits on coverage, potential durability issues.
And a necessary awareness of the manufacturer's safety history, even if the current model is, technologically safer.